Ever wondered how to make delicious red velvet cookies at home? That's right. We're diving straight into a delightful culinary journey today. So hold on to your aprons, cookie enthusiasts, because we're about to unravel the secret to making scrumptious red velvet cookies right in your own kitchen. Picture this: a home filled with the intoxicating aroma of freshly baked cookies, a scent that promises a taste of pure indulgence. Now, let's take a moment to anticipate what awaits. Imagine a cookie with all the luxurious flavors of a classic red velvet cake. Visualize sinking your teeth into a cookie so soft, it's like biting into a cloud. The cookie is not just chewy, but it carries a rich, velvety texture and is graced with a subtle of cocoa. That's right, we're talking about a cookie that resonates with perfection and screams comfort. Every bite is a trip to cookie heaven, a perfect balance of sweetness and depth. Doesn't that sound like an experience you'd want to have? Surely it does. With a few basic ingredients and some baking magic, you're set to create a batch of cookies that could rival any professional bakery. The aroma itself is enough to make your mouth water in anticipation, and the taste is simply out of this world. So, why wait? Gather these ingredients and let's get started. You'll need 2½ cups of all-purpose flour, a kitchen staple that forms the base of our flavorful cookies, 2 heaped tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder, a rich ingredient that will bring a delightful depth to each bite. Add in 1½ teaspoons of baking powder. This is what gives our cookies their delightful, soft, fluffy interior. Next, we have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a small but essential component to balance out the sweetness. In addition, gather 1/2 cup of unsalted butter at room temperature. This ingredient will give your cookies a luxurious, tender texture that simply melts in your mouth. You also need 1¼ cups of granulated sugar, an essential in baking that will lend our cookies a satisfyingly sweet taste. Furthermore, include 1 large egg. This will act as a binder, ensuring all our ingredients harmoniously blend together. Add a tablespoon of milk, a small quantity that will contribute to the soft, rich dough we are aiming for. Also, you cannot forget the 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, a classic ingredient in baking that will infuse your cookies with a warm, comforting aroma and taste. And for the signature color, add several drops of red food coloring. This will transform your dough into a vibrant, eye-catching red, making these cookies as visually appealing as they are delicious. Finally, you'll need 1½ cups of white chocolate chips. These sweet, creamy morsels will melt into the dough as it bakes, creating pockets of smooth, luscious white chocolate in every bite. First, preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. While your oven is gaining temperature, whisk together the flour, cocoa powder, baking powder, and salt in a medium bowl. Prepare yourself for the delectable experience of creating these mouth-watering treats. Next, cream the butter and sugar together in a large bowl until the mixture is light and fluffy. This may take a few minutes, but it's worth the effort. It's a process that requires not only patience, but also gentle yet determined hands. Softening butter to the right temperature is key. It should be malleable but not melted. The sugar will add a subtle sweetness and also help to aerate the butter, creating the right texture for your dough. Imagine the butter and sugar merging, bonding, their molecules entwining in a dance of sweetness and fat. As you're creaming, the color changes from a dense yellow to an airy light hue, a testament to the fluffiness you're achieving. This is a transformation that brings pleasure, a simple task, yet crucial for the perfect cookie dough. After reaching that fluffy consistency, it's time to incorporate the egg, milk, vanilla extract, a hint of food coloring. Each addition is like the next chapter in this culinary tale. The egg provides structure, the milk imparts moisture, the vanilla, a whisper of exotic sweetness, and the food coloring, a touch of whimsy. Stir until every particle of your mixture has been introduced to its new companions, creating a harmonious blend. Transitioning the next stage, slowly introduce the dry ingredients to this wet symphony. The flour, baking soda, and salt will lend body and character to your dough. As the dry ingredients disappear into the wet mixture, a new entity begins to take shape: your cookie dough. It may feel thick and stubborn, but this is exactly what you're aiming for. Finally, fold in the white chocolate. This is the final touch, the piece de resistance of your creation. Each chip a promise of a burst of creamy sweetness in the final baked delicacy. Start by scooping out perfect, tablespoon-sized portions of your flavorful dough onto a clean, non-stick baking sheet. Ensure there's enough space between each dollop to allow the cookies to spread during the baking process. Then, carefully place your baking sheet in a preheated oven and let the magic happen. Bake delightful cookies for approximately 10 to 12 minutes. This time frame isn't arbitrary. It's optimal for achieving a balance between a firm exterior with a slightly crunchy texture and a soft, tender, melt-in-your-mouth interior. You'll notice that the cookies are ready once they appear set around the edges, but remain soft in the middle. Be cautious not to overbake them, as the residual heat will continue to cook them once they are out of the oven. Once done, remove these heavenly treats from the oven and let them cool on the baking. Allow them about 5 minutes of cooling time, during which their texture will continue to firm up and flavors will meld together more. Next, after this short but indispensable cooling period, gently transfer them to a wire rack. Here, they'll continue to cool off completely, achieving the perfect texture and temperature for eating. As they cool on the wire rack, they'll release steam, preventing any sogginess and ensuring utmost crispness. See, every step is crucial in crafting these perfect cookies. Remember, patience is key here. Let them cool entirely on the wire rack and resist the temptation to dig into them immediately. The wait will be worth it when you finally sink your teeth into these perfect bites of delight. And there you have it. Soft, chewy, and utterly delicious red velvet cookies, a treat that you can indulge in anytime. Let's revisit the process so you can whip these delights up in your own kitchen. Kick off the baking journey by preheating your oven to the specified temperature. In the meantime, prepare your dry mix. This is the foundation of your cookies, so ensure that all your ingredients are fresh for the best results. Next, you would want to cream together the butter and sugar until it's light and fluffy. This step is essential as it ensures that your cookies will have a delicate crumb. Once that's done, carefully add your wet ingredients to the mix. Be sure to incorporate them thoroughly to achieve a well-rounded flavor profile for your cookies. Once that's done, you're ready to combine the wet and dry ingredients. Do this gently, ensuring that the two mixes are well incorporated but not overmixed. This will give your cookies the perfect texture, crisp on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. The final touch? Fold in the chocolate chips. They provide the burst of sweetness that complements the tanginess of the red velvet wonderfully. Now, on to the baking. Take a moment to appreciate the transformation your dough will in the oven, from a raw mix to beautifully baked cookies. Keep in mind, patience is key when baking these cookies. The longer they bake, the better they taste. Replicate this process and enjoy the satisfying feeling of creating your own batch of mouth-watering cookies. The experience truly is exhilarating. Enjoy the process and remember, there's nothing quite like the smell of freshly baked cookies wafting through your home. Happy baking!